say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets' red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave.
Hello, hello everyone. How are we doing today? We have our semifinal match between TAM Gold or TAM Navy and who is it that we're playing today? University of Montana. Grizz Maroon. Interesting. I was about to say, I do know that one of our players is sick, so we are playing with our backup sub. But this is his debut, and I do believe he is going to have a stellar performance. Because I mean, not only does he play for our Overwatch team as a sub, but he is actually one of the starters for the Rainbow Six Siege team. And if anything, gameplay-wise, that I got from Siege is that he's a very consistent player in these FPS genres. So I'm very, very hopeful to see his performance today. About to say, I am missing my co-caster as of right now. He will be here later, hopefully when the game starts. But if not, you guys got me till then. About to say, I do believe they're getting their final preparations before they get into lobby, and then it's bans, not only map picks, but bans, and then from there we should have a game started soon. I'm feeling great. Our Navy or not, our Navy team has shown great progress and great performances throughout the whole season. They've really, proven as a team that they can trust each other and they can actually put up a fight against some of these higher ranked teams. I'm ready to see this performance again from our Navy, and I hope to actually be able to cast it properly for you guys. The socials, what is it? Twitter, Instagram, Facebook. We all have it. Do we have the QR code? Yep. Right there on the screen. QR code. You can scan. New materials. Mm. Gotta love those headsets. The Alienware abs. Oh yeah, little dangly mic that we've got over there. Gotta love it. Gotta love it. I mean, I wish I had a co-caster here to talk to me, bro. But he's gone. He's missing. But I say, not too long. He should be heading his way here. Whiteboards. Hi, Sakura. How are you doing today? Doing quite alright. Just missing my co-caster. He'll be here shortly, hopefully. Hopefully. Yeah, it does get very interesting, but I think the worst part is, the in-betweens when you're waiting. Fill in. Well, we've talked about, some of the progress that our TAMU Navy has made and who we're going up against today.
Okay, so who are we going against today?
I just know it's
Missouri? Is it
Missouri,
Missouri?
probably.
Montana.
Montana.
I was like, I know it's an M.
Hey man, I'm bad with names to begin with. This
Miss
is not
Maroon.
okay.
Okay, Montana and Miss
Yeah.
Maroons who we're playing against today. We're looking at bands right now, are we? Okay.
So they're getting their map pick and their bans through right now. As soon as we
Currently.
get those done, I do believe we hop straight into game.
Yep, they're doing it. And then this game is to be competing to be in the finals. So
Yes,
that's
it
super
is
exciting.
semifinals today.
Semifinals today, so we made semifinals. I want to see like Rocket League. Rocket League, they won their semifinals and they're going to finals next week.
Okay.
So hopefully we see that here today with the Overwatch team. If you haven't already, if you're just hanging out on campus, have nothing to do, go ahead and come up here and come support the teams. They've been really successful this year.
hmm
Super excited for that.
And I do also know that our Overwatch team has been very supportive of all the other teams. I know that our Navy has been here for most of the Rocket Leagues.
They have
I
been.
do. Do we get cast any other streams as of right now? I think it's just Rocket League, correct?
It's just Rocket League and Overwatch currently that we're
hmm
casting.
But I say, I know
Ne-
they watched our games when we
um,
played. Whenever they would win, they'd come over here and just hang out. It's really good atmosphere, and I wish we could give them more of an audience that they deserve.
Yeah, and the next year we're definitely looking at some other games as well to be casting for. It's gonna be Marvel Rivals, possibly. That's a big
Possibly.
possibility. And then I know for sure Rainbow Siege because we have a
hmm
team. As y'all seen, Jacob, he's casted a lot for Rocket League specifically.
Yep, yep.
He's a team captain of that team.
Are we doing anything with like Smash Bros? I think I heard.
Yeah, we are doing Smash Bros. At first we were just wanting to do in-person competitions with
hmm
them, but we are going to go ahead and do some online
hmm
with them next semester with the Sun Conference. So we'll see how that goes. It's gonna be really good.
I about to say there should
Excited
be
for
some
them.
pretty big tourneys, because
Mm.
it's not groups, it's individuals. So it's gonna be a bunch of different groups and sets that you're gonna have to play through. It could be, who knows, it could be a couple weeks that you play. It could be the whole semester. So it's really exciting to see a season play out for Smash Bros.
Yeah, no, I'm super excited to see them. Yeah, no. Productions doing the joke 6-7.
Why?
This needs to stop.
I
Like,
say, aren't we in
anyways,
college? Aren't we a little too old for this?
yeah,
You would
we are.
expect.
Anyways, okay, so if y'all haven't already, go ahead and like this video. Give us a comment so we have some people to talk to. I see Amari over there mentioning our socials, so I was gonna bring it up. If you haven't already, here's some of our socials right here.
We got our code right there that you could scan if you don't feel like typing, or
Yeah.
maybe you're illiterate like me.
For the majority of the time, it is TAMUT underscore esports.
hmm
So, actually, do we have the video of donations?
For the donations.
Okay, so I want to go ahead and. Oh, wait, I don't know if we can. Yeah, never
Mm,
mind. We can't do that. But, yeah,
second band, okay.
next week we'll have like a little video or something for y'all to watch for donations. So that
Mm.
would be really good. So, is that the QR code for the donations or for socials? Is it for both? Is
I
it
was gonna
both?
say
I
I've
don't
been
even know.
advertising it as the socials, so
I don't know.
I was like,
How am I
I'm just
supposed
here
to
to
know?
cast. I'm not part of the production
Production
team.
didn't tell us. I'm scanning it. They say we're supposed to know, but production doesn't tell us anything. I'm pretty sure it's for our donations though, 'cause that's what that looks like.
Hey,
I mean, it's both.
it's done. It's both.
No, 'cause that's to share it to those socials. So it's not Linktree.
Yeah,
That's for
that's the
donations.
donations. Yeah.
Okay, so it's about donations. So if y'all want to go ahead and donate for Team under esports, well they took away the QR code,
Well,
but
they don't want our money.
that
You
would be
know.
the QR code
There
right
we
there.
go.
Yeah, to scan that. Okay, now y'all may take it off if y'all want.
Alrighty, so it does look like we got our bands and our map. We have the map Ilios with the bands being Farah and that Junker Queen. Ilios is a open map for the most part. You've got the three different sub maps, each with their own different terrain and the way that they're set up. seeing how our teams pick these comps are going to be a real indicator of what their game style and game plan is going to be heading into these games.
Okay, so what's your like preference on maps? Like, what's your favorite map to be playing wherever you're competing?
Honestly, I wouldn't say I have a preferred map. I do have preferred game modes because Overwatch does have so many different game modes. Some
Okay.
are definitely a lot easier, like those hybrids and the push.
Mhm.
Controls fair.
Okay.
Don't like Flashpoint. You will never catch me willingly going to
You don't
Flashpoint.
like Flashpoint? Okay. All right. Well, it looks like we are going ahead and we are going into the game right now.
Yes. And it looks to be that our team is going to be opening that Sigma on the tank. We've got the Lucio Kiri backline. That makes a very aggressive backline, especially with Lucio being able to give the speed to maybe some of those characters who don't have the best movement. We have the Sig and the Reaper both with TP, so they may go in on the same character trying to get that early pick.
And I'm excited to see. I do know that the Overwatch team playing right now, we do not have our typical
Lineup. I do
lineup.
know, because I do believe one of our DPS is sick, so we
Yes.
have our backup. And I mean, he's really good in our siege team because he does play on their starters. So I'm wondering if that any experience will rub off here
Oh,
in
I'm
this
sure.
Overwatch.
Yeah, no, definitely. Any FPS game, I'm pretty sure rubs off on each other. But it's not just like his skill in the gameplay, but like playing as a team.
Absolutely. And
That's a big part of it.
I was saying I do know that he did have that high school experience with some of our other supports, going to the same school, so that may help with the team chemistry there. As you can see though, this Sim is trying to get in with her teleport and her turrets. The turrets lay off those beams, and it actually slows the enemy down, highlights him, and if they get low enough, you can actually, get that pick free.
Yep, and right now we are watching Mike, who is the one who is subbing in right now for
Yep.
one of our players, Luis.
hmm
He's doing really well. I haven't seen anybody die yet.
No, I have not, but I mean, Mike's
I'll
getting
probably
real
just
low
jinx
there.
them. Oh yeah, I just jinxed them.
Oh, there
Caster's
it goes.
curse. Okay.
Caster's curse. There goes the first pick on our
Ah.
DPS. It's still very winnable having both supports up. That's supports and tank are one of the most impactful that you've got. They
There
get
we
the
go.
trade, nice, but one of our supports do go down here. You can tell this tank really wants to put the pressure on our Sig, and the Sig actually goes down. We still have Mike in the back. He gets out though, luckily with one of his abilities, but the Reinhardt is still right on him.
I feel like our team is definitely gonna need to get on point here pretty soon.
hmm
Um, to catch up because it's already in the 50s,
Yeah,
halfway,
I was about to say.
over halfway at this point. So yeah, they definitely need to in the next fight.
Yeah, the next team
Fight,
fight.
we're gonna need to
Well,
win and
not
get on
only
point.
that, but you've got all these ultimates coming up. BAP window it was just used. You got Simwall now. All these team fights become that much bigger. And as we saw, there's actually an Ajax. An Ajax is where the Lucio goes into ult, and he actually gets his ult canceled. Really unfortunate play for the enemy team, but I do believe that means it's a team fight for us. Ooh, I'm about to say it is a 2v2 right now.
I'm a little bit worried. But
Mhm.
this is just the first round.
Absolutely.
Definitely just the first round warming up. Definitely, it's definitely playing competitively
Mhm.
as a new team versus just practicing. So
Absolutely.
I think that they'll probably do well.
Let's say, and Mike,
the
being that
next two
new
games.
player, he might be nervous, but seeing
Mhm.
his gameplay, he does seem to be fairly confident in his gameplay still. But we do get the point flip, but you can see that this enemy team is making that aggressive play back to the point. They're just trying to force these fights because they do have the ult advantage now, and they also have that more brawly tank in the Reinhardt.
All right, yeah, no, definitely love how the Eagles are now on point.
Mhm.
They're just like starting to work really good together.
Absolutely. And you
Uh,
can see that I do believe
there
this
we
is
go,
going
there
to
we
be
go.
another team fight
Get him,
for
get him.
the Eagles.
Get that little thing.
Nice.
Yeah, there we go.
I'm about to
5 kill
say,
streak.
they did delay the kill.
Let's go.
Let's go! Team fight.
You know what,
Let's say, a lot of times teams will leave the last few people remaining. It's called a stagger, These respawns times, when you're delayed from your team, can hinder your push or attack and give more percentage to that other team.
For the parents listening, a typical stagger, what it means is not everybody will spawn at the same time, so they'll come in one at a time. Right?
Absolutely.
So there's an advantage on the numbers.
But say you can see that this Manny actually got pressured and he is down. But like I said before, we still have our tank and both supports. We get the trades actually. It is now in our favor. We're up by 2. It's looking like we're just cleaning up the last final picks. Nice, there we go.
There we go. Beautiful from Manny right there.
Absolutely.
I am loving this comeback they're having right now.
I say, it definitely looked a little dire. They didn't look like they had the pressure. And then, with this team forcing all these fights, I guess it helped us because, we had to actually take those fights.
We did. We needed to take the fights because we needed to do something,
Mhm.
and our team was able to realize that and really work with that. They're like, okay, we got to.
Absolutely.
If we don't, at least we tried, instead
Yeah,
of just staying back.
absolutely. I say, but you can see here, this is the last team fight. It's just down to the supports delaying. But it does look like we
It's
get
gonna
the
go to
first
the
half.
Eagles right
Let's
there.
go. Eagles round 1 on this first map.
We love to see the first round win for the Eagles. No, we love that. Especially,
Love
you
that.
know, I'm really excited because that was the
Mm.
first time as that team playing all together, right?
Absolutely.
So
And
that's really exciting.
but I say it's great to see how competitive they still are, even with that backup sub that they may not have practiced with as much. It's definitely good to see that they're still able to hold such a competitive fight to this enemy team.
Yeah, no, definitely. And like their comeback, I was really impressed with that because at first they were just at 0%,
Mhm.
and then they went up to 100
Yeah, I was
before
about
the
to
other
say,
team did,
they
right?
held on.
I know you
They
could
kept
probably,
winning the team fights, right? Round after round, round after round.
yeah, you could hear it in our commentating. 'Cause I didn't think they were gonna win that round at
Mm,
first, but they really proved me wrong, right? So Capture's curse
absolutely.
did not even matter because they were able to go against that and the enemy
Mhm.
team. And it looks like we are already back into another match right here.
Yes, this is going to be the second point. So Control has 3 points usually. First to 2 points wins the actual map. So it definitely comes down to a lot of counter plays, and you can see that we do actually have the swap off of Reaper to that Freya. That gives more aerial pressure and also further range than that Reaper would have given.
Yeah, definitely. And it looks like the Eagles are the first ones to be on point this time
Yep,
to
and the
be
Eagles
collecting
get.
it.
I do believe that is a team wipe, unless they're looking for. Oh, there's the Reaper, but
Oh.
Mike gets caught out, unfortunately. Are we going to be able to get this trade? I don't believe so, but they are definitely trying.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, he does get out, and he's going to be able to regroup with his team. You can already see that this tank has swapped a handful of times, maybe to hopefully get a better advantage in these fights. Ooh, but Mecha gets the boob onto the Zarya.
All right, and it looks like the other caster is just getting here.
Is my caster here?
He needs to go put on some merchandise first,
He needs to
but
get dripped out, is what I'm hearing.
he's gonna be here.
Absolutely, and you
And
can.
I'm gonna go cheer and I'm gonna go eat. Looks like there's some yummy food over there. So.
Absolutely. Ooh, it does look like we may lose this team fight, and you can already see that the tank swapped again. Swapping like this doesn't always help because you do build these perks now with the new changes, which could hinder sometimes if you don't have those perk in rotations.
You know what, this round I'm really noticing is more back and forth, right? So it's
Mhm.
not just one-sided. At first it was just one-sided with the enemy team, and then it was one-sided with the Eagles. But it keeps
Mhm.
going back and forth on who's on point and who's not. So I think they're both teams are just kind of figuring out how the other one plays. Especially
Absolutely.
whenever he was trying out all the different takes, he was trying to
Mhm.
figure out what would work against this team and the comp that
Yeah.
they're going against.
I'm about to say, being in that small room's not the best for our team because not only do they have that Venture, but they also have the Reaper. They got really close corners characters, so fighting in this small room may not be beneficial. You can see that the Flux comes out and hits one, but he's unable to get the kill because of the ult from the Lucio.
Ooh.
Does look like we do unfortunately lose that fight, but they are down one, but they're going to be able to get back before our team gets back for that team fight.
Alright, awesome. Well, I'm gonna go ahead and hand the mic to the other caster. So yeah, I'll see y'all next semester. Though.
Thank you so
You're
much, Sakura, for
welcome.
subbing in.
You're welcome. I'll be casting more next semester.
That's it. We'll be ready for you.
Hello,
Hello,
hello.
hello, my friend. I've been waiting for you.
Hey, I'm so sorry for being late.
Hey, better late than never.
That's right.
But
My-
say, as you can see right now, the enemy team is in possession of this point, but we do have that first round win.
Okay.
I say right now we do have the trades. We have the promo coming out from the Winston. It does look like this is going to be a loss for the TAME Eagles, and this may be the round for Maroon UMT.
I don't know, man. If Manny can, maybe not.
I was about to
Well,
say,
we'll see. We'll see if anyone can touch. It is 5% left, but Lucio is going with the rollout. trying to get a touch, but
Lucio
ooh,
does force
he
a touch, but is they're going to be able to do anything after that? You see the Kiri trying to make a play, and the ball, it looks really rushed right now. I think they're just trying to get enough time to stabilize. Manny comes in with the Sombra on point, trying to hack someone, but he does miss the hack, unfortunately. I'm about to say I don't think they're going to be able to get
man.
another touch. In the first round they open Ryan, and they've been back and forth between these tanks because the Logan Sig has been so oppressive that they actually have swapped over to the Winston, and that's been working for them. So I do believe they're
Okay.
going to stick to it.
Well, nice. Well, listen, it's control. It is just a point.
Absolutely.
It's obviously going to be best out of three. So as long as the Eagles can rally back onto point two, grab
Hmm.
that point,
Absolutely.
listen, confidence could be there, and they can take over to point three.
Hmm. I'm about to say, and who knows, we might see the actual the tank swap from our tank now, Logan being pressured so much by the Winston and not maybe being able to poke out like he wants to.
Right. Now, did he open up playing Sig or?
Yes, he opened Sig first map, and
Okay,
he has yet to swap.
he has yet to swap.
Hmm.
Gotcha. See, because what I would love to see is them kind of playing into that dive comp on what we've been seeing the past couple of
Hmm.
practices that we have.
Absolutely.
I know Logan's been playing a lot of Diva, and I saw him last night. Well, he's been playing a lot of ball too.
Yeah, absolutely.
So, with dive comp just being so
Hmm.
important in today's game, I it's something that we got to see.
Yeah, but I do believe they're going for more of a pokey, team comp here, trying to get out that Winston. Maybe you see the
Yeah,
Manny with the turret form. That's really, a lot of damage that can be put onto the monkey. What a rock
that was
by
a great rock,
Sig here.
and it looks like that he's blocking off heals onto the Lucio, but
Hmm. But I say I don't think the poke is going to be worth it. They've got such an aggressive dive comp on the enemy team that he's just
mhm.
not going to be able to support his team enough.
And Lucio does get a pick onto their Kiri, but
Hmm.
they're
I say he does get the trade, but I mean his team is now regrouping. They might
mhm.
be able to take this 4v5 until Kiri gets back.
Now listen, I don't think that Sig is definitely a bad matchup into a Winston comp.
Hmm.
I think if used right and you play your cards, as long as you can bait out the bubble and then try to go for the rock after on,
Hmm.
or yeah, after, then
Absolutely, but that takes a lot of communication
it
and a
does.
lot of awareness from the tank being able to know where his team is. Because if you
Mhm.
get separated from that tank, you're not going to be able to get the support you
Yeah,
need in that cover.
and you're completely right. So it looks like they are running into again, they're going into this full dive comp that's just playing their
Hmm.
cards so great, especially
Yeah.
with their Sombra just taken away from our Sig into the back line with her hacks. And
Not even that, but you saw with Manny on that bash, and the
yeah,
Lucio actually came out, booped him further away from his team just to isolate that pick.
and we do see many switch over to Echo, and like I
Echo.
said, there goes Logan onto Diva.
Yep, Logan's onto the Diva. I think this is a great switch from our team. Oh, Manny almost gets that pick up top, but he is unfortunately unable to convert. You see the Primal get forced out by the Winston here, and you can kind of just Mecha on his own there, kind of stuck.
Yeah,
Mike does get the trade, but is it going to be enough? We are down both our supports, and I think this is where the fight ends.
yep.
I say they're just going to have to take that reset and hopefully take another fight before, they're too high on percentage.
Yep, Logan's just gonna go back and he's gonna gain health from our spawn. And
Absolutely.
full group reset. We we'll just have
Manny's
to see what they
opening
can
on
pull
this
out.
height. Yeah, I about to say, and we do have Mike subbing in right now for Louise, who is sick.
Gotcha.
I say, you can see that the Winston is actually half right now. They may be able to capitalize on that. Reaper's low now too. You've got Sombra in the back line. That Diva being
Yeah.
able to more
And,
accurately deal with it. But the beat does come out from the enemy Lucio and our Lucio as well.
and Manny looks like he's going to take over Reaper's form and see if we can
Absolutely.
get a couple
There we
picks onto
go.
there.
I say that early pick from Gala actually opened up this fight a lot more for our team, and you can just see that it's
Coming to the
just
ult. That was
ooh,
huge.
W
Both picks onto
ult.
their support and they get the
That's a
Reaper.
good team fight
Yes,
win.
sir.
I say now they've got to hold on. If they get 1 point switch, it may be over for the team.
Yeah, and it looks like that we're coming up onto Diva Bomb as well. And then
Mhm.
Mike the Psych is also coming up onto his own ult.
Absolutely, we've got both now. Reaper ult, we've got Diva ult, but that Kiri ult, granted, is at 30%, but she can climb it and she can build it faster than that
Mhm.
other support being at 11%.
We just gotta see what they can come up with. Like I said,
Mhm.
as long as they can play
Absolutely.
this right and play this a little bit.
I say you can see that Logan being able to put that more pressure onto the enemy team, but Mecha does get caught out. Reaper ult does get two. Unfortunately, I do believe that's going to be team fight unless this Diva Bomb can become huge. Unfortunately not.
No.
I
So,
say they may have one more touch, but I'm not too sure with that overtime. Unfortunately not. So they
Unfortunate.
do take first map on UMT.
And listen, it's not a complete wash. This is only
Absolutely
game
not.
one.
It's been
This,
very competitive. I think they were a little too late to swap that tank.
yep.
Trying to force that Sig, which isn't terrible, like you said. He just needed to be more aware.
Now, do you think Logan should have switched into another tank? What do you think differently they could have done?
I think the Diva was a fine pick. I just think it should have came out earlier. I think by second point after the Winston was maybe not so impressive. Maybe try taking a team fight or two.
Yeah.
But when you realize that Winston is able just to get around you and your team just way too quickly, I think that's when you need to realize, hey,
Yeah.
maybe a change is needed.
Well, not only is that Winston able to apply the pressure that he is so deserving of,
Mhm.
but kind of going into a diva comp, she can't really shield much out of him.
Mm-mm,
So
definitely not.
if you have both a Winston and a Lucio just on a diva,
Mm.
that's just shredding her.
Yeah.
So that's where it just kind of goes to be a little bit unfortunate into
I
just
mean, the
playing
ball
diva.
may have been a better pick. Maybe
Yeah,
get back to that back line. Maybe more disruptive
I would
for the
honestly say
healing.
Reinhardt.
Yeah, Reinhardt could have also been fine.
Yeah.
Who knows? They may have gone to the Reinhardt match because I do know first point. That's what the team opened up.
Listen, I know if Manny is in there talking to his team, they're
Hmm.
trying to figure out how to rally back from this. They're trying to figure out who our next bans are going to be
Hmm.
and what we can do to again stop
Hmm.
the Winston.
I was about to say, I mean, first bans, map Ilios, and then the bans were Pharah, Junker Queen. So I do believe going forward, we may see the Winston ban. We
Yeah.
may see a Sigma ban. Who knows?
Now, like I said, I don't know if a Winston ban would be too smart because there are different things that you can do to kind of counter that.
Absolutely.
But you definitely saw the pressure coming from the Winston the most.
Hmm.
Like I said, he was jumping onto our entire backline with that Lucio.
Well, not even that. I think the Winston was really good at, seeing when his team was going in
Hmm.
and, being able to get into that fight with them.
Yeah, you're completely right. Well, hopefully we'll be seeing bans pretty soon, and then we'll be seeing what is our first ban.
Let's say we've got one ban. We're waiting for a second, and I do believe they pick map. We pick map
Yep, we
since we
pick
do
map.
lose.
Yep, we get first map, and then
Hmm.
or we get second map, then we get first ban onto
Yep,
this.
yep,
So
yep.
let's see what they can get. Like I said, if I was them, yes, Winston is there as a ban,
Hmm.
but there could be a really important decision later on that you may want to
Absolutely.
save that ban for.
I'm about saying honestly, they may just do like a safety ban where they ban someone in that character pool, like maybe I don't know the Sombra if they want to save Farah or a different
Yeah,
DPS that they wanted.
and we've seen that a lot whenever our team played.
Hmm.
Definitely on TU, they're like, Tracer, nah. Soj, nah.
Hmm.
Cass, nah.
They didn't
And
like me playing my fun characters,
they didn't want him playing his fun characters, but it also gave them an advantage because they got to play their own DPS no matter what they
Hmm.
wanted to play.
Yeah.
Um, everyone is going to have their top three, top five even. But if you're just really trying to keep those bans to where you're not going to have that come onto you, then just banning a DPS or
Hmm.
tank,
But
whatever
say
you
I
can do,
do
save
believe we've
those.
got our new map and our bands here.
So map, Saravasa, bans. We have Sombra and Rhine.
Okay, so
Which
maybe the Ryan band is definitely
who banned who?
interesting. The band is
Okay,
they
so
ban Ryan. Okay.
that's where it kind of goes a little bit unfortunate because at this point they can see that Logan has quite a bit of hours onto Ryan,
Hmm.
and again, if you're having that talk, for me personally, I would play Ryan into a Winston. But
Hmm.
again, as our team kind of goes, we play a lot of brawl comp
Hmm.
to where,
I about to say, and with the
mm,
Somber band, maybe they're trying to limit that
yeah,
Winston's dive ability.
I will say, or yeah, I will say onto that Sombra again. She was really capable of exerting a lot of pressure, but if you could see
Mhm.
onto Ilios, she kept hacking the big med
The
pack
mega health packs.
on.
And I mean, with that Somber band out of the way, that ball is going to be a lot easier and a lot more
Mhm,
free to just run around, get those health packs, and engage more freely.
correct. Well, I'm really excited to see what they can cook up onto Cervasa. I know we've been playing this quite a bit, trying
And
to.
yeah,
I know for us to get better. I know they have been in it too as well.
yeah,
Um,
absolutely.
Flashpoint is definitely a weak point for a lot of players because
And I wonder, playing with that sub, if that may have hindered them, or maybe they'll come back stronger, at
yeah,
the more they play. Because, Mike didn't come as many practices as he may have wanted. I've seen him in some of the more recent ones. But,
mhm.
having that built performance with the team definitely helps.
Yeah, I definitely think it's just going to be a team chemistry that's just going to build from here. I mean, they've only played one game so far,
Absolutely.
so we'll just kind of have to see what they can go. And it looks like they're running a Sombra or not a Sombra, sorry, a Symmetricom.
Symmetricom, very interesting. They are opening with that Diva, so maybe they want to take more fights. But the Zarya does come out, which is a huge counter to Diva being able to
Mhm.
not actually DM that beam.
And it looks
With the
Zarya
wrong
is
charge
already
on
pretty
that Zarya
charged.
too.
Yeah. So What was I gonna say? I don't even know.
Oh my god, lock in, bro.
I'm locking in. I mean, I was gonna say same thing onto you, onto that Zarya ban, just kind of going and
The
countering.
Zarya pick, not the ban, my friend.
Sorry, Zarya pick, countering our diva.
Mhm.
But it could be huge, especially for our Symmetra. With as aggressive as what Manny plays, if he can utilize her correctly, then listen,
But
that's
say
just
you
where
can
it kinda
see here
goes.
that our diva did kind of get caught out by this Reaper. It does look like it's going to be an early pick for them. He does force out Wraith, but he's unfortunately not able to get back into mech.
Correct.
But
Now,
say you can kind of see here now that Gala's kind of separated from his team. He's going to try to find it, but unfortunately, I do think he's just going to have to take the team reset here.
and like I said, position is going to be your greatest benefactor as well into
Mhm.
this. Because even though Servasa is a flashpoint map, it is such a open map
Mhm.
to where you can position almost anywhere that you want. And as long as you can play height, especially into a Zarya
Yeah.
pick, I think that's just really what they kind of have to play off of.
But say, and also watching that bubble management from the Zarya is going to be big whenever they can actually get those counters down. And if they can, you can kind of see there, Mike gets caught out by the Venture, but we do get the Far Switch, hopefully to give us some more range from this Venture Reaper comp that they're running. I
And
say he's going to be unable to get out, unfortunately. You can see that the Diva is also trying to pressure that backline, but they've got so much survivability, especially with the bubbles coming out from the Zarya.
and it does look like Grizz Maroon may be taking point one.
Yes, first point does go to Grizz Maroon. Now, this is a, what, is it best of 5? So first to 3
Yep.
points?
It's going to be first to 3 points, best of 5.
Mhm.
Like I said, this is a very open map. You can or I say it's a very open map. There is a point on here that is a little bit more closed around.
Mhm.
I would say stop charging the Zarya. Unfortunately,
Unfortunately.
their Reaper and their Venture may be getting a little bit too much
Mhm.
pressure off to our backline.
I about to say, and you can see that our tank trying to build that, charge to his mech actually got caught out, which is a huge stagger for the enemy team, unfortunately. And he actually, the Venture goes back to get our Lucio as well.
And
That's
now
it.
it is just going to be a game of regroup thing going back in. It looks like we are
Absolutely.
coming up onto potentially 4 ults. We have Kiri, we have Kit, and then we also have
We now have
Soldier
the
ult.
Zarya mirror, so we'll see how that goes. Manny gets caught out of the air by the Venture, which is honestly absurd in my opinion.
Crazy work even.
Yeah, Mike gets caught out by the solo grab, and it's just cleanup from the enemy Zarya. And you can see the enemy is doing a lot better job than we are, unfortunately, with this Zarya mirror. That they're just ignoring her until she's the final one, and then she is a fairly squishy tank. Once her bubbles are gone, she's gone like that.
Correct. Now we are going into, or you already said that we're doing a Zarya mirror. I thought you said Pharah. My bad.
No, Zarya.
They did get the pick onto, I believe, their Lucio, unless I saw that wrong.
I'm not too sure myself, but you can see Mike actually goes in here with the overclock. He is unfortunately pushed out, but Manny gets the pick. He gets 2 picks actually from the Pharah ult. We get the mecha cleanup with one of those kills. Now they only have a Venture on point to contest. He's just going to sit here to get more percentage. But you can see Manny here is just getting that kill. And he actually gets the ult charge from the kill.
Nice. And this could be potentially huge because, like I said, now we have Kit, and then we also have Beat Drop, and then we should be coming up onto a Zarya ult pretty soon.
That's it, but it is also scary because they
But-
both also have those support ults and their
Mhm.
DPS ults. That tectonic shot can be huge, unfortunately.
Man. Let's see what they can cook right here.
But saying you can see right now, Logan's kind of trying to get these bubbles to get more charge, but you can kind of see that they're not giving him any charge, unfortunately.
Nope.
You see the aggressive beat come out from Mecha, not only Mecha but Cheer Girl from the enemy team.
But listen, that was such a good beat from us because not only did they use Reaper ult, but they also used Venture, Kit, and they used Lucio ult.
Yeah, it's like the stock market crash. They used all their ults for a one team fight.
But unfortunately, it looks like it did work because they only had 10% remaining.
That is unfortunate. Going into this last point, our team is going to have to lock in. They're going to have to be able to get onto this point first. Because, once we get the point, if they don't have the ults, we do seem to win these team fights.
Yeah, I would say like I said, if I was this team, the plan is going to be go straight to point, Kit early, take, again, dominance over the point,
Absolutely.
and then just go from there.
And you can see this time, Logan was actually successful to get some of that charge, but he wasted all his bubbles immediately, so he's going to be unable to keep that pressure forward. But I
And-
say Zarya bubble management is huge, especially in the Zarya mirror here.
And it does look like that Mike did switch to Bastion as well, which could
Mhm.
potentially be huge. He just needs to really contain himself from whenever he sees those Zarya bubbles go up.
Not even that, but I mean, if he's communicating with his team well enough, whenever those Zarya bubbles do come out, even on her or his support, they just got to be able to communicate. And Logan is unfortunately unable to get the pick onto the Lucio, leaving him to survive. But you can kind of see that we had the even numbers, and now unfortunately we do lose the team fight.
Man, I don't even know. It's just, maybe it's miscommunication. Maybe it's just a little bit of positioning.
Mm.
But will we rally back around? My vote is yes.
I know, I was
Listen,
about to say they do have, in the Zarya mirror, they do have their black hole first, but Garrett or Logan is right here with it. So who knows? We'll have to see who comes out first. Logan is desperately trying to get that pick onto the Reaper. Unfortunately, is unable to. But Manny does get the pick on the Lucio and the Kiri. He does get traded out, but Mike is right there behind him.
and it looks like that we will be able to save Grab for next fight.
Absolutely. Not only that now, but we do have the Bastion ult coming up really quickly. And, comboing those ults can be massive. That's
Oh, yeah.
big damage. And if they can't escape it, it's like instant
Yeah.
death for them.
Especially doing that with a Zarya or even a Malga ult.
Even a Malga
That
ult
is
huge.
one of the best combos I think I have ever seen. Unfortunate as it is, because Bastion just does so much damage, not only in turret form, but his ult just
Absolutely.
depletes.
You can see though that the enemy team has swapped to that Freya. I don't believe I remember seeing it. Ooh, but it is a big grab on our supports. They do get one pick, but Galad is able to survive, and Manny gets the trade. We are down to support, but it is the Lucio, so it's not the most amount of healing, but it is definitely some.
He should be able to get back fast.
Absolutely. Now, are we gonna retaliate with our own grab? We do. He gets 3. It is unfortunately unable. Woo, we do get the one. Cleanse comes out. Lucio low. Manny is unable to get that finishing kill.
And it was huge because they did force out beat drop with that grab as well.
Absolutely, and you can see that we are winning the team fight by the looks of it. Kiri is on our Zarya, no TP, no Suzu. Mecha's just in there getting those kills, and what a bubble from our tank here for that Lucio.
And it looks like we do take point 3.
We do, we do. Now this is a great start for our team. Finally getting that first point and a fairly big stagger on the enemy team
Nice.
there.
So going into point 4 now, it looks like we again have Kit and we have beat drop, and then we're coming up onto
Absolutely.
Deadeye as well.
But I say, and we're able to kit for free, uncontested. The only ult they have is Reaper ult, which is fairly counterable and fairly predictable.
Yeah, I was gonna say as soon as they use Reaper ult, we have beat drop just to match that with it.
Absolutely. But I say, they may try to wait out this Reaper ult, but that might be bad because they're going to be able to build their own. Actually, Logan's out here getting these full charge, but Mecha and Gala get caught out with the Reaper ult as well getting used. It does seem to just be Mike and Logan left. Now just Logan. Logan's gonna have to reset and unfortunately lose his charge.
And unfortunately, we did lose Kit from that as well.
But we do have beat. Maybe take an aggressive beat push here. We'll just have to see how they play it out.
I would say save beat for grab.
Yeah, I mean, grab is real close to being made. Manny may try making a hero play with that high noon. I know high noon is really hard to get value out of being a DBS player myself, but in the right circumstance, it definitely can come up huge.
And you are completely right. And it looks to be that
I say we do use the beat aggressively, but that Reaper being so close just delays all of it. Overhealth.
and then we do get a pick
the
onto their tank and onto their Kiri,
Yep.
which that is so huge.
That is huge. I say we do get the cap now. That's a huge team fight for our win.
Yes, sir.
Logan may have to get aggressive here to poke out maybe for some charge, but he does have that perk now that hits do give him 5%.
Yeah, and if he can get that charge off, then again, get more ult charge, because not only that, but Mike does have ult. So
He
if they can
does have
combo
ult.
those two, that's again another
Absolutely.
free point.
But saying you can see that they're taking this fight away from point. This can be smart, but it also, they may get the cap flip. The Zarya bubble comes out. We do use the cleanse. We use a lot of resources trying to keep him up, but is unable to.
And listen, now it's just time to reset. Let them
Mhm.
take over point, because they still have time to be able to get back. And again, they have Grav and they have Bastion ult.
But unfortunately, they do have that Lucio beat, and they also have Reaper ult. You see that Reaper setting up early, unbeknownst to them. That might come up huge if they're not able to spot him out beforehand.
We'll just have to see what can happen.
Absolutely. And
And
you can see that they
unfortunately,
use the kit fast, but they used it away from point, and Garrett or Logan gets caught out unfortunately by the enemy tank. But say so we are now having to take an unfavorable contest. We do get the point flip though, which is huge. Unfortunately, Manny is unable to use Deadeye, and I do believe this is going to be another point flip, and they're not going to be able to touch. But Logan comes back on the ball, gets the touch.
This may be huge because he can definitely buy time for his entire team to
Mm-hmm.
get back.
About to say you can see that our supports did try to use that Kasune ult, the Deadeye ult, and the
Yeah.
but the Reaper ult comes out to seal the
Man,
deal, which is unfortunate, making it 2-0 in the series for UMT.
listen, and that Zarya is just again getting too much charge. That's what we saw with the Winston. Is she?
Absolutely, we're almost respecting her too much, but also not.
Yeah.
Because, we respect her when she has that high charge, but when she's low charge,
Mhm.
we don't follow up to get that full clear and that full kill.
Yeah, and so like I said, these past bans were Sombra and they were Ryan.
Mm,
So now Logan has full reign of Ryan, and but unfortunately they also have full reign of Sombra as well. Now,
absolutely.
can that be huge? In some circumstances, yes, because like I said, Ryan can play very well into Winston, but he
Absolutely.
plays very, very well into Zarya as
I was about to
well.
say, do you think they're going to try to find a more comfort pick map when it comes to these bans? Possibly.
Listen, I think because they've already played Flashpoint, they have
Hmm.
also played a Control Point.
Absolutely.
My idea is take it to King's Row, do
Kings
the
Row.
sim TP that they have been practicing and
Hmm.
practicing,
Let's say,
run their Ryan, and run them down.
absolutely. I think, them getting in their face is going to be a lot better than them trying to play that poke because, Logan does love his SIG, but that Reinhardt being able to get that constant pressure and that brawl out will be a lot better for our team, I feel.
Yeah. Um, and like I said, with especially us practicing against them and seeing that sim rollout and
Hmm.
us getting destroyed by it over and over and over again,
You don't got to tell me, bro. I
it gets
relive it every
it
time.
it
I
gets
get on
so
Kings Row and
annoying
I'm
to the
like
point to
tweaking.
where it's like, man, I'm excited to see it against other teams, but whenever it
Mhm.
happens against us, it's just
It's soul crushing.
it's heartbreaking because it's like, how can you counter that?
It is really hard. It's very unexpected, but it also takes that level of secretive almost being able to hide this the sombra, not the sombra, the sim.
Hmm.
I say if they're unable to hide the sim, and if the enemy team has done some research, they may know about the sim and they might ban her.
Yeah,
You never know. We got to see what the bans and the map pick is.
yeah, but we get first bans,
We
so
do, we do.
odds are if we can ban a DPS first, that will protect our sim ban.
Hmm.
And like I said, Ryan ban's already out of the way.
But what
So
ban do you think in regards to DPS should be made? Because they already banned the Sombro. Do you think maybe the Venture was too aggressive, or maybe the Reaper?
I think personally, if they're gonna run the comp that I think they're gonna run,
Mhm.
DPS, we're gonna have Sim, may have a Reaper.
I think it's probably gonna be a Sim, and I mean, if Mike plays the Soj may come up huge
Yeah,
here.
you may be right about that. If personally, probably the Venture,
Play the Venture. Mike has been playing Venture. I've seen.
or
You
I
know,
meant ban the Venture.
ban the Venture. That's
Ban
what
the
I was
Venture.
thinking. That ult as well can get really big value out of those tight corridors,
Hmm.
especially on second point, heading to final on the way on King's Row.
Yeah. Um, man. So it does look like we pick New Queen Street actually, and the bans are Hammond and Bastion.
Interesting. Who banned what is the real question. We banned Ham, we banned the ball, and they banned Bastion.
Yep.
Okay,
Which
interesting.
running that onto New Queen may be a little bit interesting because you don't really see too much
Well,
onto.
obviously I do that. You guys just don't give us much information with the
Yeah,
bans. You could write our team and then their team and just what our bans are. Pretty
Lord.
please, pretty please. I'm so nice to you.
Y'all's job is better. I'm just kidding. We love y'all. Y'all do a great job at what y'all
I
do.
love and appreciate all you guys. I do believe we are getting into our next game here. UMT being up 2-0. Our production team is being a
Our
little
production team
goofy.
drew us this beautiful picture.
Absolutely magnificent. Actually, from one of our supports playing, I do believe it was Mecca who drew it.
And then bang!
Bang!
Who
That's
drew
actually a
that? Who
good
drew
drawing.
that?
I wish I could draw.
Sakura.
Sakura, let's go. That
Might be
was my
huge.
co-casting while you were gone, while you left
I'm
me.
sorry. I was at work, man.
You can actually see that Garrett is on that Reinhardt now. And we've got the Sombra. Garrett Logan, my bad. I'm so used to my
Yeah.
goat.
Listen, and this is exactly what I wanted to see is using this run down kind of comp.
Mhm.
They now have their Zarya staggered into their backline, but this can be very crucial because Logan does overpush in that
Mhm.
instance.
But I say, I mean, it was a right play to bring that Zarya to our backline, but it does look like it was unfortunately unable to get that kill, being with that Reaper and that Venture so fast to help her.
Yeah, and it looked to be that he did almost punish her with his charge,
Hmm.
but it ran out right like seconds
I about to
before.
say, I didn't know if he canceled it or if he had run out. It's so hard to tell.
It's really hard to tell, but it
Mhm.
definitely, unfortunately, it was ran out. So
Unfortunate.
going into again the Zarya comp and them playing Reaper and Venture,
Hmm.
they can really shred down Ryan's shield very fast.
Yeah.
But again, going into a Zarya unfortunately catching Mike off onto the
I about to
off
say,
angle.
Mike playing a little too far out of LOS from his team. You can see Manny is playing that Sombra, so a lot of, is going to be on Mike for pressure wise because, Manny's going to be trying to
Yeah.
play the hacks.
Now Mecha did get the pick onto their Venture.
And that's huge. Venture's going to take quite a while to get back. Granted, she does have that movement in her drills and her digs, but her cooldowns are fairly strong.
Yeah. And if I am Logan in this instance, I would be circling back around to save my pin,
Hmm.
try to catch that Zarya off and again into an off angle and just take her off the map.
Absolutely. And actually, the Zarya did go down, so we're going back to us winning. But I do think they are going to be able to stabilize because that Vigil did come back. It's just Logan now on this bot playing against the Reaper and the carry. But no, we have our supports, and you can already see the counter swap from the tank going back to the Winston.
Yeah. And like I said, I still think that or not Winston, I still think that Reinhardt does play very well into the
Mhm.
Winston just because he can exert so much pressure. Now,
Mhm.
Logan does have Shatter.
He does have Shatter,
This
but
would
they
be a
just use Kit. And unfortunately, I do think we're going to lose this team fight. They're going to have to regroup. But, having that Shatter for next fight is going to be huge. And Winston's going to be, it's going to take him quite a while to build that Primal since he did just swap.
hmm
I say, unfortunately, the Venture and the Reaper do have both their ults, so they may be trying to make an aggressive play here.
And Shatter does come out,
He
gets
does
one
get the
onto
carry,
Kiri.
and he's able to get the kill. Lucio B comes out. Manny does go down, unfortunately. It is even numbers. We're down now, actually.
And that is just so unfortunate. Could have
Yeah,
been such a good Shatter, but that Kiri cleanse did come
I
out.
don't know if that was a great shot. It looked so choreographed, hitting from the high ground all the way down.
Yeah.
Kind of reminds me of your
No, don't. Let's not
your
even.
King's Row
Okay,
boy. When you
let's
try to
just say.
360 him.
Let's just say what could have been a good Shatter.
Hey,
Yeah, what happened to Widow?
you know what? Widow's not my best character, and that's fine.
Let's just say.
Reinhardt is one of his better characters. He's still
Reinhardt
doing
definitely.
goofy stuff.
Listen, we were up, and the confidence was there.
Mhm.
I should never let myself do that again.
Oh, but you've got to have a little bit of fun in these games.
Yes,
At the
sir.
end of the day, yes, we are competing on a competitive level, but we are here for the love of the game.
Now it does look like they are pushing bot fairly fast to our side of the map.
Mhm.
Now we do have Soldier ult, we have Beat, and we have Kit, but
I
they
say
have Winston ult and they have Reaper ult.
they do, and they're getting close to that Kit. Kit is a fairly fast building ult. You can see that we're running the hazard now swap. Winston's going in on our backline. He does primal for this as well. Logan's gonna have to get a touch here soon, unless we want them to get that full cap. You can see Logan's kind of trying to make his way across. The Winston actually does go down through
Nice.
primal. Reaper might try to make a play here with his Blossom. He's just on our support right now. Mecha gets called out or fought out by the carry. The Reaper does go down, and I do believe we did stabilize in this team fight.
And now we were able to save Kit, and now we are coming up onto Summer ult as well.
Absolutely.
But
And we are 70 to downpour, which can be big, especially with them not having ult per se on that Lucio.
and it looks like their Kit does come out. Will we
Mhm.
Kit back? Yes, we do.
We do get back, and Logan and Mike, we're actually getting this team fight. Manny did pull out the EMP, and the kit was used on our
And
side.
Mike went crazy, gets 3 picks.
Crazy Mike, let's go. That's my sub, that's my go. What can I say?
Now we could, I don't know,
We
man.
are at a bit of an old disadvantage, and you can see that the tank does actually go horse on the enemy time
Well,
on the enemy side.
I don't know if it would be too much of an ult disadvantage because again, Hazard's ult pins him to the ground. If
That is
Reaper goes
true.
down in and ults early,
And it goes through walls, so you don't even have to be looking like
Yeah.
around that corner. He can ult even behind this bus here, and you can actually see the ult come through. It doesn't hit anyone. I do believe the cleanse came through, unfortunately. But say we are coming up to Soldier Visor, but that's about the only one Is Lucio gonna die here? Probably. If he dies, that's huge. Lucio is down. They don't have the beat here. Tectonic shots do come out. Cleanse comes out. They are desperately trying to find a pick with that tectonic shock. Gala does get, unfortunately, and Manny goes down as well. They're gonna have to reset on just Zemeka and Logan, but Logan, I think, missed his leap and is unfortunately fought out there. Just Mecha, and he does get staggered, unfortunately. But
No, they were able to push it quite a bit away, so we should still have one more fight going into this.
absolutely, I mean, we still have 4 minutes on the clock. They're
Yeah.
gonna come back. It's gonna be about around that corner when they come for that fight. They just got to be able to wait for their tank. The tank comes out on the SIG. All these swaps are, needed sometimes, but also I feel like, having those perks can sometimes be more beneficial. And you can see that they do just ignore Logan entirely. They get that beat off and they get that Reaper off.
And it does look like Grizz Maroon does take over, and unfortunately maybe taking game 3.
I'm about to say they may try to get a touch, but I think this is going. Ooh, Mecha gets
We
the
do get the
rollout,
touch, and Sombra
EMP
ult.
comes out. Wait, we get the pick on the tank. It's just the DPS and support left. Mike comes out with Visor. He gets one. Oh, is Logan going to be able to take this fight? It's going to be real hard. He gets pushed up in the air. He gets off the bot, but luckily Mecha is back to contest, and Mike is back as well. Horse is going to be back here soon. The Venture is making so much disruption. He's going to get nice. Mike is unable to get the kill on the Reaper, but we do get the trade. Gala is 1v1ing their Lucio. Gala wins the fight. Tectonic shot comes out from. Nice!
Yes!
Team fight. Nice.
That
What a
is
stabilization.
great hold.
That's it. You can see that we are on the Diva now. Playing into Horse, what do you think? Is it a good matchup against the Horse? Is it a bad matchup?
Man, to be honest, going into Horse is just
It's
crazy.
rough.
It's rough because she has so much armor, she has so much defense, and it looks like she does pick the shield perk.
Yeah,
So-
and I mean, they got that early pick on Mike. The beat does come out, though, from our Mecha, our Lucio.
Yeah, but
Uh,
we beat for Terra Surge.
Absolutely. But, I mean, Manny still gets caught out. Mecha still gets caught out. It's just Diva and Gala. Gala is looking for that TP, but I don't think it's going to help much. Yeah, they just ignore the tank and go straight for that back line.
Yeah, in this certain situation, like I said, I don't know if Diva might have been the biggest pick here, but if you play her right, again, ignore the Horse, go for the back line. Pick what you can pick, and then just go from there.
Ooh, we are on that touch right now. We are going to have to kind of scramble for this team fight when we've got to make sure we are staying on that point. The Lucio beat does come out from the enemy team. Manny is fairly close to EMP again. Mecha is low on that high ground. Lucio's low on the enemy team, unable to get the kill. Reaper Blossom does come out. Manny is trying to find that EMP, but he is unable to, and Mike does not get the touch.
And
It's going to be
unfortunately-
a bull cap.
And I believe that is
That is 3-0 for UMT. Unfortunate end to our season. But, seeing their progress, seeing their competitive spirit,
Yeah.
having them fight through it. And unfortunately, they did have the sub for this game map, but I don't think that really hindered them much.
I don't think it did either. Like I said, may have just been an off day. We could chalk it up to that. But me personally, no excuses.
No excuses.
We played the game that we could play, and unfortunately just could not come out on top. Now, either
Unfortunately.
way, I'm still super proud of these guys. I'm
Absolutely.
super proud of the way that they have came.
I mean, we still have Sun Conference. We still
Yep.
have more practices in the future. We still have a great road ahead for
Correct.
this year.
And we are still just going to keep building from here. It's only going to keep
Absolutely.
going up.
Absolutely.
So, hopefully, I don't...
I don't know. Are we doing interviews today?
I think we should, because it is definitely a season ender
Yeah,
for
it's-
NECC League. Just kind of get their thoughts and just kind of get their thoughts on how everything kind of played out.
Absolutely.
Now, we can go back and forth. You do an interview, I do an interview.
But say, do you want to do the interview since you were late?
I can do 'em.
Casting?
I can do 'em. Just because I was late.
I say I'll be
Give,
here for emotional support when you
Just
were.
give everyone else a piece of my face. No. But I know for me personally, I'm going home tonight. I'm grinding Overwatch.
Me too.
We're hitting.
We're in it.
We're hitting GM tonight. All the way from Diamond.
You're not even diamond, bro.
All the way from Plat. Close to Diamond.
Bro, hit diamond first, and then you got it.
All right, I got it. Let's do it. And
Alrighty, guys,
we are
we'll
gonna
see
take
you
a
back
quick
when our
break.
interviews are ready.
Alrighty, and we are back. Here with me is the Coach Allen. Let me know your thoughts.
I mean, they're a good team. I mean, what can you say? I mean, we could have done better on some things. Every single one of those young men in there are upset with themselves. They
Hmm.
all know I should have done this, I should have done this, I should have done this. But we really need to focus on what they did do.
Yep.
Um, they got to the playoffs, they got to the semifinal match, and we get to play for third place. So we still have another game to go.
There we go.
Season's not over. All right. Very proud of these young men. Um, can't say much, because I don't like losing. They
Yeah.
don't like losing.
I definitely know
Um,
the feeling all too well.
yeah. So, but glad we got there. Other team was amazing. Y'all are gonna win it. I hope y'all win.
Yeah.
Hope y'all get it.
Best to them.
So Eagles.
Go Eagles. Alrighty, where is? Alrighty, I guess I got it. So, my name is Garrett Johnson, aka Sonic Void. If you want to go follow us onto Twitch and YouTube at capital TAMUT Esports, and on Instagram and X underscore TAMUT underscore Esports. And if you ever want to become a future Eagle and play for our team, you can actually click onto this QR code right here. You can register. You can check out all of our socials. It's a little bit easier to go through that way as well. But yeah, like I said, my name is Garrett. I appreciate y'all for joining in. Thank y'all.